Welcome to LandAcademy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at LandAcademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Hey, Steve Butala here for LandAcademy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about a question that each of us answer every single week, if not more. How much does it really cost to start in the land business? So in this episode, I'll break it all down dollar for dollar with some great, sincere accuracy. Jill, I'm glad we're doing this show. I think it's going to help a lot of people and help a lot of LandAcademy members and maybe inform some casual listeners. Mm-hmm. How much did it cost when you started? This is a trick question.
It is a trick question.
Because I think it was pretty close to zero.
It was pretty close to zero. Because let's be honest. You could, if you have support and knowledge, you could really start with not much money.
So here, I'm going to
that's a trick, and I
very briefly describe how Jill started. I had a bunch of property left over from a huge acquisition that was it was like in the middle of the downturn, the real estate downturn, and I just said, knock yourself out. These properties are not, I don't think, they weren't selling that well. They sell great now, but
you were testing me, I think.
During the downturn, I just wanted to see if you're into it or whatever. And so she did. She put a whole system together and started selling it and making some good money. I mean, you were making enough money so that I'm like, well, maybe I need to.
Did I just give her all those?
That's what I was like. What
You're like, heck? Whoops, what did I just?
I created a monster.
Totally. You just kind of gave me a little bit of guidance, like like a toddler. You kind of taught me to walk a little bit, and you kind of sit back to see if I could actually walk and run, and then I took off. That was really cool.
Behind closed doors, I'm like, there's no way this is going to work. and then you did. You killed it.
You're like, you sold another one? I'm like, yeah.
So it ended up like she'd spend 2 hours after her regular job.
Yeah.
Making like a couple $1,000s a night.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really funny.
So I said, all right, we got to make this. This was a long time ago.
It was.
It was fun. That was a fun period.
It really was.
I mean, it's fun now too.
Yeah. Because I wasn't looking to leave. I mean, I didn't realize what else was out there at the time. I wasn't in the right mindset. And so this was just kind of gravy.
So how much does it how much does it really take to start your land business? So like everything in life, you have to start with education. It cracks me up about real estate. Like you go on Bigger Pockets, and I answer a lot of questions on Bigger Pockets and talk to new investors all the time. And they all think that it starts with buying a piece of real estate, and it really doesn't at all. It starts with education. And, just the way that a brain surgeon doesn't start his career by doing brain surgery, they go to school first. And so learning is the absolute first step. And step 2 is, in my opinion, aligning yourself the same way a surgeon does in an internship with some people who actually know what they're doing and have some experience, and you get some on-the-job training. So you can watch their mistakes, learn from their mistakes, and just get generally a real-time feel for what's going on. The other thing about that period is, and I don't think this gets talked about enough, you get a feel for what the rest of your life's going to be like. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that I think should say during this internship period or during this beginning, this period where you're actually doing it, that maybe should say, you know what, this is not for me.
Right.
I think there's some other stuff that I'd rather do. So there's that. And then the third period is then you eventually cut yourself loose and you go do it on your own, or you become a partner with the people that you were doing the internship with or right. that you're learning from or mentor. Although mentor is a silly word these days. I don't know. Or maybe it is for me. Mm-hmm. So education, experience, and then go off on your own. It's real simple stuff. Mm-hmm. So, is education free? No.
Right. Oh, but it should be. No.
Well, Jill put it great one time. She said, what if, because we always, every day around the office, we're like, we're going to give this away again. I know it. And so we are in this constant discussion about the fact that we give away too much stuff.
Right.
And then we end up giving it away.
Exactly. I know. It's very true.
So it's a good thing the land business has, our actual real business that we're supposed to be working on this very minute instead of doing this show.
Right. Is up and
it
running.
It subsidizes Land Academy.
Exactly.
So, we charge, there's a little bit of money up front, regardless of where you choose to get your education. Make sure you get it. And Jill says this great saying. She says, you can listen to all of our podcasts, read all of our free stuff, and do it all. And 2 years later, you'll have all the information you need, and you'll be ready to start. And we have members who do that.
That's very true.
Or you can pay a little bit of money and
have all the answers.
And maybe a week later, have all the answers.
And then in a weekend.
A week later, you're ready to jump in and go to phase 2, which is get involved in our version of phase 2 of that is Success Plan, where we're all talking to each other and doing that. Right now, that's free too. That's
and creating deals and all of that. So, yes.
So far, we're at pretty close to zero.
For what?
For cost. Oh. How much does it really cost?
Oh, well, some education.
So yeah, my point is I personally would, I got an email from a guy recently and he said, you guys are out of your mind that you charge this amount of money for did you see that?
I did see that too. It made me laugh.
Actually, I'm paraphrasing. I'm saying it nicely. He was not as nice about it.
It made me laugh because I think we charged too little.
That's what I think, Jill. That was my first reaction. My first reaction was, what? Yeah. It costs like $200,000 a year to go to college.
We have rolled an entire college business degree into our program.
I think so too.
Because we talk about not only our business, but business in general. We talk about setting up your company and some legal things to consider, all of that stuff. We're not attorneys. We don't tell you, give you that much advice, but we tell you what you need to think about, what you need to research and where to get some answers, and who to consult.
Yeah, the big business. I'm not here plugging our stuff.
That's hilarious.
The big difference between what we provide from an education standpoint and what I think everybody else provides is the fact that we sit down and show you exactly how to do it. We show you where to go on the internet to get the products and the resources that you need to start doing it almost overnight. Jill and I constantly get emails from people in the middle of the night. They're like, I can't stop watching this.
I know.
I can't wait to get started.
Exactly.
We pack a lot. It's 10 hours. The program that we have right now is 10 hours long of video. And then probably another 10 hours of research and stuff that we probably have to do. So literally in a day, you could get it all done.
I got to say something. Someone could actually take our training and learn from us just to do a business in some whole other capacity because of what we roll in there. And what made me think of this is because there's a person in our office right now who is young and in college, and we are setting her up, and she is all in. And we're working at getting her own little side business. We're talking to her about when to make the transition. We're talking to her about getting her own LLC. I told her I'll help you get your EIN, get your business number going, get your bank account going, all that good stuff. And her eyes are just like huge. It's so cool, but
she's going to do great.
We are good at that stuff. And we should do that.
There's another person in our office who's no longer in our office any longer who was offered the same
opportunity.
This is what I say. In one way or another, to everybody who comes in and out of here, who works for us in all the companies, this is maybe the best opportunity you're ever going to have in your life to make a ton of money. How you handle that. Mm-hmm. And I would say 80% of the people just look at me kind of weird and say, yeah, when does my paycheck come?
Exactly. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. No, this one, though, I think is
this one gets it.
Yeah, she does.
She's seeing it and she gets it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most of them don't.
So how much does it cost? It costs those three. There's three stages: the education, internship / whatever, and then going off on your own. So you're going to pay some money for education if you buy our package. It's I don't know where it's priced right now. Somewhere around $1,500, but you get a free property. Mm-hmm. If you time it right, you get a free property and some consulting with Jill and I. Jill runs promos all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get, we've given away 10 acres with the program in the past. Right now it's a 1/4 acre. In New Mexico, so that offsets, if you do it properly, good, get the property and resell it. That offsets a good portion of the cost of the education. And then Jill and I also we're rolling out a program where we are a licensed seller of First American Title real estate data, which is I know it's the best data in the country, highest quality data in the country. So you're going to set yourself up to pay about between 3 and 5 cents a record for that data. And then, if you use our mailing resources, you're going to pay less than a price of a stamp per unit to send some mail out. So what's the math like on that? I don't know. Let's say you start sending out, 100, 200 letters a week. Mm-hmm. So 5 cents per data for that and mailing, it's probably 60 cents, probably closer to 50 cents a mailer. So maybe $100 a week to begin. Okay. After that. And you're going to get a bunch of properties back, between 5 and 20%, if you listen to us, are going to respond, and you're going to purchase those properties and resell them. Mm-hmm. So it's not so much about the actual cost. I don't know. Maybe if you're after cost of everything, probably $2,000. Mm-hmm. If you spend $2,000, I think that's probably on the higher end.
To get up and running?
Yeah, and that's with the education problem.
If you do with education, I'm going to say, well, yeah, because you're going to get some money back from you're going to sell that property. So if you spend $2,000, $2,500 compared to, what's a degree nowadays? If you're lucky, 40, 50, maybe higher.
Right, and you can spread it out over time. So, but are you going to make $2,000 on the first property you turn? Well, you go on a success plan and ask our current members.
Yes.
I think you're going to be shocked
at what their numbers are.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Uh-huh.
You'll recoup the cost of all this education in the first couple of months.
Yeah.
If you take it seriously.
Yeah.
And listen to what we say.
Well, Mike Dugan, he said it on a podcast that we talked about.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did a podcast with him.
That's right.
You're like looking at me like, no, we shared all that.
Yeah.
So,
what did Mike say? I don't remember.
Well, in his first, he did one test to prove it to his wife. And then by his second transaction, he bought 10 of these properties in this area that time. Remember that? And after the second one,
he's cleaning up.
He already reimbursed himself for every last dollar. So he had like 8 properties left over, 8 5-acre properties in this area.
For free.
You're right. That was all gravy. It paid for the program. Right. It paid for the property. I mean, it was just insane.
I just got an email from him. I don't know if you got it because we're releasing our data program here in a few days. And he, one of the things that I kind of harp on in our program is and to steer away from is heavy inner city houses. And he sends me an email and says, I own a bunch of houses in Wayne County, Michigan, and collect a lot of rent. And all the data that I've been using up until now, up until you guys, doesn't provide data in that county. And our data is in 99% of the counties in the country. Mm-hmm. So I'm proud of that. It's way cheaper. All of our stuff is way cheaper than if you just walked in off the street. The value of being a Land Academy member is pretty strong.
Yes.
So that's how much it costs. That's the real deal. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I have a couple other students that they're not students. They're members, or actually more colleagues. They're not Land Academy students. They're members. They're people who invest in houses and they flip houses and they started out with nothing.
Right.
And what they do is they use this data to source super undervalued property.
Yes.
And then do a deal with somebody who does have a ton of money in the market. Mm-hmm. So if you have zero money, that should not stop you.
I agree.
I'm not saying zero, maybe a couple $100 or $200 or $300 a month to start for mailer data. And sending out mailers but you got to be real smart about it. You're going to start with that small amount of money. You got to be real bright about it. You got to spend a lot of time teaching yourself.
Right.
Burning the midnight oil, staying up late, really learning how to do this, because all the information that you need to do that, we have.
Right.
And it's available. Well,
I made some notes about this show before we started. And I was thinking about to be successful.
Wait. You made notes before a show.
I did.
Wait.
I never. I do that.
I never. This is what happens before these shows. I spent a couple hours putting this whole thing together, and Jill comes in, usually running,
rolling it. That's right. That's true.
Staring at her watch, saying, "I was 2 minutes early this time." And she sits down and she's ready to do it. And I'm like, "What the heck, man? Why?
Ready, go."
Since when are you just the hired talent?
You like this? I thought
what? So you made notes on this?
I did make notes on this, but by the way, I figured why not start it off on the right foot? I want to have. Let's just get everybody used to how I roll.
So what are your notes?
So my notes are to be successful. 2, you need to set your own budget, set a budget, and have a timeline with some firm goals, and don't. You're going to do it by this day, and I'm going to save up. And I want timelines not only with the money I'm going to have saved up for acquisitions and my mailers, but when you're going to do that. And don't set huge, unattainable goals, and don't make them too long drawn. Don't give yourself a 6 month. Don't give yourself 1 week or 6 months. Pick something comfortable and stick to it.
And focus on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a whole mental piece to this. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Your first mailer might flop. Who knows?
Really?
No, but what if you send out too high offers or too low offers? Well, okay. For those people who don't have our program and don't know how to do it.
Oh, if you don't have the program?
Yes, and set out the wrong offers.
You're going to do it all wrong.
That's a whole nother thing, but
Jill, I'm glad you brought that up. You're going to do it wrong if you don't have the program.
That's true. And you're going to send out postcards, which makes no sense. But anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Because
it saves money.
There's like 60 moving parts to really getting a good mailer out. And I'm not making it's not complicated after you do it the first time. But there's a lot of ways. You're right, Jill.
Well, this is a whole other thing you need to know. When we say mailer, there's a specific mailer. We're not just saying get something in their people's mailbox with your name on it.
Here, I'll rapid fire all the wrong things to do.
Okay.
Send a postcard out. No. Send a letter out expressing interest. No. That's all that's going to do is make people call you back, and then you sit on the phone and hear about their grandchildren. You want to send a specific 2-page offer out in the mail that has a time frame on it, and it has the amount of money that you're willing to pay, and then a brief description on how to close the deal if, in fact, they are interested in doing it. Those 3 things are critical. Mm-hmm. And you will save a tremendous amount of time and energy. Also, you want to have a phone number set up. Don't use your cell phone and stuff. It's a huge mistake. It's just a mess. Mm-hmm. Because these people keep these mailers forever. Mm-hmm. So you want to set up a permanent phone number somewhere that's extremely inexpensive to manage. Because 10 years from now, someone's going to call you back on. Jill and I get calls back on letters that we sent more than 10 years ago every single day.
Well, you know what else is important too?
So
they're respectful.
Those are just a few things that if you were just starting out, unless somebody sat flat out, just like I did, tell you that stuff.
You don't know.
Yeah, because I sent out postcards and I sent out letters of interest and all this for years and did it wrong until we refined it to the point where it is now. So how much does it really cost? Very little. Go ahead.
One point is it needs to be respectful and nice too when you do these mailers. I can't tell you how many times because we have properties that have, they're not current on all their taxes. And I do that on purpose because I want to get this mail out there. Seriously, I want to see what other people are doing.
Once you own a bunch of property, you're going to get a lot of mail from, not a lot, but mail from people.
It's hilarious. So I get these scary ones too, like, oh, you're in jeopardy of losing your property. I mean, they almost make it look like you're getting a county warning letter or a IRS something, a threat.
Do a whole show on that.
Oh my, that
really
makes me mad. Because you know what? I think that's mean and scary because a lot of the people that we're talking to, they've owned this property forever. They might be older and this is a scary thing and they take it very seriously.
Right.
So, here's my point. That's mean and I don't agree with it, number one. And number two, that's why people hang on to our letters. So if you want to do that, go right ahead. They're going to call me and they're not going to call you. So thank you. That's all I had to say.
You're not going to trick somebody. Some people go at this and they think they're going to trick people to sell them their property for less. Like they have to trick them or do something wrong to get it cheap. And it's just not the case.
It's the wrong way.
You got to be respectful, like you said. And you have to go at it with this attitude. Hey, I'm here to solve your problem. If you don't see it that way, then I'll just move on to the next person because there's lots more. Yeah. And you got to be nice about it.
Totally.
Jill shines in that area of the several things that you are great at. You convey that message somehow just by talking to someone. it's a compliment. I hope it's coming off that way.
It is. Okay. Thank you very much. Well, I am sincere.
Yeah.
I really am. And if someone says, God, that's just not enough, I need to get more out of this, I say, okay, I get it. This is all I can do. And if anything changes, let me know.
Right.
And I mean it.
I wonder if these shows sound like lectures.
No. You think?
I don't know.
You know what?
Are we having enough fun?
I am.
Well, that's a rhetorical question for you.
I got to tell you something funny.
Are our listeners having enough fun?
Okay, I have something on the way in today. I'm driving home from the gym, and I'm thinking about my new car, and I haven't had a vanity plate in a long time, and I was thinking about doing one again. And I was trying to think, what would I put on there? And I was trying to think, I want something that conveys me, something like a funny up saying. And I couldn't really think of something, but that's what I was thinking about. When you said, are you having enough fun?
Yeah.
That's my number one goal in life, is to have fun.
I wonder if Land Clown is available.
Land Clown. Oh my gosh. Thank you. What if there's a funny play on words with land, or just?
I've sat in front of the internet looking for .coms with this exact what we're talking about here. Like, put land in front of anything you can think of, like whatever.
Land. I don't know.
And so what ends up happening is there's this, land is like what we talk about, land,
right? Dirt
and real estate, but what there is, everybody who got all the land a lot of the land.coms is like Disneyland or Happy Land or
I should put Disneyland.
Geekland or all kinds of land used in a different way, like land as if it's an environment to walk into, like knitting land.
Oh. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Well, we could say Land Academy could be land here, or I don't know, like
land here.
Well, yeah, Land Here Academy, but it could be like that. Never mind.
Yeah. Hey, join us in another episode where Jill and I discuss something more fun than this, and your all-important success in land investment and in life.
I swear I did not drink on my way to start drinking this morning before recording.
I think you just had a really good workout with your friends, didn't you?
I really did.
What did you guys talk about this morning? I know did you go out to breakfast and stuff?
No, we did not.
Show your new car?
I did show a few of them my new car. So
did they love it?
They did. Yes, they did. And one of them said, "You're going to have that car forever." I'm like, I could. So, yeah.
No, I think you did great.
I'm really glad.
I think we did what we're supposed to do on that. It costs $2,500 ish.
Yeah. If you have that.
You can do it for free, though. Rates keeps coming down.
It does. Well.
Or up. I don't know. And you can do it for zero. It's just, it takes a lot more upfront energy and time to learn.
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't think you can do it for zero because you know what? You're going to waste your time. Time is money.
Know what? You're right, Joey.
That whole 2 year wait, 2 years.
So much longer.
Don't bother.
You're right.
Do not bother. If you're going to sit with a notebook and take down the snippets of information you get from every show and from all of our blogs and everything, and then piece it all together in 2 years, how much money have you lost?
I agree. We should have put that in the real show. Okay. I completely agree with you. That's an incredibly good point.
Okay. We'll just add that in the next show.
Yeah. Let's go buy some property.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at LandAcademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
LandAcademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.